going to talk about subjects and how they should be taught. In my group, we have me and Joe from home, and for me, first we will broken our presentation will be broken into two parts: the reality of school and our ideal classroom, what we wish our classroom was like. So first, we'll talk about useful and unuseful subjects, and that will be present by Sun Ho.
Thank you, Michelle. So first, I'm going to tell you about useful and unuseful subjects. So as everyone has different hobby or different interested, so we may have different list of useful and unuseful subjects from each other. We find it useful and it's not unuseful for us. First, you can see on the left side there are useful subjects, and they are math, science, English, literature, history, geography, and PE. And on the right side, you can see there are unuseful subjects, and they're music, art, farming, and ICT. Okay, so that is all about the useful subjects and unuseful subjects. So now we're going to move to how these subjects are being taught at school. So in Vietnam, there's a well-known saying that studying comes with acting. But I think that for the few decades ago that the saying is being forgotten, as theories are being taught much more than doing experiments. So basically students just sit down, listen, and write down whatever the teacher say. So we're absorbing the information of the teacher passively. So because of that, there's no exchange information between students and teachers. So teachers is kind of forcing us to believe that whatever information they give to us is always correct. It's for example, I'm thinking of a square and she's thinking of triangle. So, but the teacher forces us to believe that the answer has to be a circle. So because of that, students don't have really much chance to ask questions, and students don't have much chance to express their own point of views or their own ideas on the problems in classes. So that's all about the useful and unuseful subjects and how they're being taught at school. Next, Cho will tell you about the dark side and the bright side of homework.
So everything has its pros and cons, the bright side to it and the dark side to it. Let's talk about what homeworks bring us. It forces students to work harder, and it also helps the student to focus on their study while they're at home, because the student may lost track on the way, because when they're at home they're being lazy, like what students usually do. It also helps students develop a sense of responsibility, and that also comes with time management and also discipline. It also helps students remember what they learn in school, because at school you can't really remember what they're teaching us. You have to go home, do the homework to know what we're actually learning, what we did learn. And there's some cons to it too. First, homework takes up our time, lots of time. So it prevents us from having time to devote to other skills like sports and other activities, fun activities. Homework is stressful. Everyone knows that it's stressful and it's tedious, it's boring. Also, it reduces the family time you have because you have to do homework. Not only is playtime reduced, but also family time. And last, but definitely not least, it encourages cheating when there's too much pressure. Everyone puts pressure on the students, and they have to be able to get the homework done, be able to get the correct grades, and there's too much pressure, and that could lead to cheating. Not good. So I think that homework should not be banned, but they should be optional, whether the students want to do it or not. It depends on their learning, their desire for knowledge. And that's my answer to whether homework should be banned or not. Next is the pretty lady here from you. She will talk about how things would be taught in our ideal classroom.
Well, in our ideal classrooms, teachers use realistic examples and visual media to help assist their teaching so the students can understand more about what they taught us. They also give us less homework so we can focus on important subjects. In this class, students like us get chances to ask questions to the teacher, to do more experiments, and get on field trips. It's an interesting class, right? Now let's move to the next part, social skills. This is a subject that we think should be taught in schools. In this subject, we'll learn about manners and positive interactions with other people, appropriate classroom behaviors, anger management, and acceptable ways to resolve conflicts with others. These skills can help our world be more civilized and bring people close together. I think it's very important to us. Now Cho is going to tell us the conclusion of our presentation.
So, in conclusion, I think that our education system, the Vietnam education system, may have some flaws because not every education system is flawless. And our current teaching system is not as effective as our system thought it would be. But the educators, the government, can make it better, more effective by start listening to children. Listening to children and their creative ideas is one of the ways that our system will be better. Because when you listen to children, you get to speak. They're being heard, and it's a good thing. And we as a unit hope that in a not too far future, our children, the next generation, will get this privilege. And because the children are the future, and that's what our presentation was about. Thank you for listening.
Xin cảm ơn fan thuyết trình của nhóm 4. Và bây giờ sẽ là thời gian để nhận câu hỏi từ giám khảo. May I invite Mr. Jacob to have a question for group 4?
So, you talked about how the teaching system, the teaching methods, the education system could be improved by paying more attention to children and what they have to say about learning. What kind of needs or what kind of problems do children have that you think parents or adults might not be able to recognize?
So there are a lot of problems, but the most important thing is that we don't get as much time as we want to provide us with a happy childhood. So that's why I said that, like I said, homework should be optional, whether the student wants to do it or not. But our parents, what they want is that for us to get better grades, for us to become better humans. So we would have to get higher grades by doing the homework. And that's not good, but we want less homework, that's what we all want. So therefore, what I think the real need is that we need more time and we need a better environment, as in friendly environment for our learning.
So would you say that it's not enough actually to make homework optional, but to put a limit on how much homework any student can do? Because otherwise some parents may force their children to just work all of the time, and then they'll get all the good grades and you won't be able to compete with them.
Homework should not be limited. The teachers can give us what we want, But the problem is the students, the environment is not enough for our desire to know the knowledge. You have all the knowledge we need. That's why we want to change the environment so that what affects the student and they would want to learn more. They would want to know about the world, and that's where the homework comes in. It's optional. If you want to do it, if you want to become a better human, you would do it. But if they don't, then they wouldn't do it. So that's how we separate it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for those.
Thank you, judges, for your